Hey everybody, welcome to Popcorn Robot. This is the Nostalgia Podcast slash YouTube video where we're going to go through years throughout our childhood, kind of let you know what's going on in the world, how we pictured things through the 80s and 90s. My name's Josh. I'm here with my boy Matt.
Hey.
Hello, Matt.
Hello.
This is the first one, so we're trying to figure out exactly how we're going to do everything. It's probably going to get a little bit fucked up. So I'm going to do my best and see how we go. So, you want to tell them about what we're doing?
Well, I actually have sort of an off-topic, blow your mind kind of thing to start off the first episode with.
Great, I love it. Let's hear it.
Blow your feeble little mind and perhaps change the way that you see all of human history, in fact.
Oh, okay. Let's hear it.
Okay. So, now that we're recording, putting you on the spot, I can say your age.
Yeah, no, we have to. Yeah.
Okay, so you're 45. That's the number I.
No, I'm 46.
Well, you're 45 now. For this, you're 45.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
yes, I am. I'm 45. 45 years old.
So
1978.
Let's take that number. Mm-hmm. And use it as a unit of measurement, okay?
Don't make me do math.
I'm going to do the math for you.
Okay.
So 45 years is one Josh, okay?
Okay.
So you take World War I. That was, give or take, 100 years ago.
Okay.
It's two Joshes. That makes sense, right?
Okay, yeah.
That makes sense to our minds. World War I was two Joshes ago. Okay? So, let's talk about since America became a country. Okay, that was 250 years ago.
Okay.
5.5 Joshes. There's only been 5.5 of you since America.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay? It's about to get a lot crazier.
No, go for it. Let's hear it. Where are we going?
So let's talk about the Renaissance.
Okay.
So the Renaissance, I did deep research, Googling it once and looking at one paragraph on Wikipedia. And
it sounds like it.
And I landed on, say, the year 1500. Okay, so let's say the Renaissance was 500 years ago.
Okay.
11 Joshes since the fucking Renaissance.
Wow. That's not a lot of Joshes.
It's not a lot of Joshes.
It's not a lot of Joshes.
Human history is becoming smaller before our very eyes. Jesus, 2,000 years, 44 Joshes.
Wow.
44 of you since Jesus. The ancient Egyptians, 3200 BCE, that's 5,200 years ago. The beginning of recorded human history, 115 of you.
Damn.
Since the beginning of recorded human history. The Great Flood, whether it happened or not, 6,500 years ago. That's 144 Joshes since Noah and the Ark.
Since Noah.
Yeah.
What about like the dinosaurs?
Oh, that's gonna be a lot more Joshes. It's not gonna be impressive anymore.
Oh my God! What are the odds? What are the odds?
Oh, you kids are bombing it.
Immediately. Immediately. We've been in here for 2 hours.
Well, that's why.
Not a thing. Immediately, door comes busting open. I even have it like barricaded to like keep people out. The door's just busting.
But this whole thing, I wanted to put it on TikTok, but then I was like, people on TikTok are like teenagers. It's not as impressive if you're a teenager. But if you're coming up on the half-century mark, all of human history gets real fucking small. We haven't been around so long.
Well, you just blew my mind. I'm not happy about it. I don't like thinking about it. We're classic. You know? It is funny whenever you talk about people. There was a time when I would say, like, if you did not remember, like, Back to the Future, like, if you hadn't seen Back to the Future, or you were unsure, maybe I felt like I could not talk to you. Like, there was just nothing that we would have in common from here on in.
Well, who the fuck in our age bracket hasn't seen that movie?
Our age bracket, that's different. When I was working at, like, the hospitals and stuff, you're working with people that are 20 years younger than you. They don't have a clue. There were people that I worked with that had no idea who Vanilla Ice was. Like, no idea.
That's tragic. You have to
Some
know who
girl,
he is.
there was a girl that somebody was talking about Tetris one day, and she was like, "What's that?" They were like, "Fucking Tetris." She's like, "Is that like Flappy Birds?" It was like, bro, no, it's like fucking Tetris. It's Tetris. Like, how do you not know? And it's like, there's those type of things that, like,
well, they made a movie, so she probably knows now.
no, I don't even remember that movie exists.
That was a good movie.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I wanted to see it when it came out, but then I forgot that it even existed. So now I need to check it. But that is funny because 1985 was like a definite, I need you to at least know what's going on in 1985 so we could relate. And it didn't happen. So I think that was a good year. That's the year that we're kicking this whole thing off with, is 1985. And
let's talk about it.
When you think about it, I mean, you're what? You're 1 year, 2 years younger than me.
I'm 45.
You're 1 year. Okay.
Yeah, I just thought we were the same age when I did the
I always thought
math.
you were 2 years younger than me. I always thought, but
nope.
I guess not. That doesn't make any sense.
2 grades younger than you.
Yeah. But so, yeah. Okay. So 7, 8 years old, which is very funny because 7 and 8 doesn't seem like you would have a very strong memory about anything. Mm-mm. And when I think about what went on in 1985, I remember so much of it very vividly that it's like, I definitely remember 84, 83. I remember all of it. So I think that us being able to just run through these years is actually going to be a lot of fun. See where you were in your life in Johnstown.
Oh yeah, Johnstown, Pennsylvania.
And where I was in my Aliquippa. No one knows where the hell that is.
Boring old Pittsburgh.
It's close to Pittsburgh. You just have to tell people Pittsburgh, and then they fucking say Philadelphia anyway because they're fucking idiots.
Yeah, same thing about Johnstown.
Didn't you say you're from Philly? No, I didn't. No. I did not ever. I'm from Pittsburgh. Hence the Lemieux back there. And Ben and all that. It's just where it is. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about 85.
The only thing I know about 1985 is Back to the Future. To you.
Okay. Perfect. Tell me about it. What do you love about Back to the Future? Such an impact. 1985.
Well, you got to start. I mean, I have a thing. I have a thing to bring up.
Oh, you have like a thing.
But it's a random thing.
Well, there's a lot of things that started off in 1985. I mean, I guess like you look back. So what we're going to basically do is go through like the TV shows, the movies. We're not just going to stay in one specific topic. So anything that you can remember. We have, there was WrestleMania. The first WrestleMania came out that year. There was.
Wait, was that Hulk Hogan versus King Kong Bundy?
No, it was this WrestleMania was Hulk Hogan and Mr. T. It was a main event. It was Hulk Hogan and Mr. T were fighting Roddy Piper and Paul Mr. Wonderful Orndorff.
I used to love Roddy Piper.
He was a dude. He was.
Yeah.
I loved both of them. And it was crazy that Mr. T was in that because at the time, Mr. T was humongous. Like this was after Rocky 3. This was A-Team. This was, everybody. I wanted to be Mr. T, which is going to be very difficult.
We just watched Rocky 3. That movie is amazing.
You just watched it?
Yeah, just like in the last 6 months.
Yeah, it's such a good movie. He's so mean. Clubber Lang is so mean.
I know, but Mr. T is like the ultimate kids kids loved him. He
Yeah.
loved kids. I mean, he was marketed toward children. You know what I mean? So like,
I mean, he had cereal.
yeah,
he had don't treat your mother right. He had that whole tape, a whole tape of Mr. T shit.
didn't listen to that tape, but
You don't know treat your mother right?
no, it's not the kind
Oh
of tape
my god, it's like a rap song with like little kids being like treat your mother right. He's like I don't, and whatever. There was another song on there too. It was like don't talk to strangers. And it's like don't talk to him. Like he's like, it was great. I think he was on Scooby Doo. I don't know. He had his own cartoon. Mr. T
he
had
did.
his own Mr. T and the T Force. He was
Yep.
a big deal. So like him and Hulk Hogan together, and it's fun. And what's funny is Roddy Piper was with this Paul Mr. Wonderful Orndorff. Okay, quick story
Wonderful,
as we
yeah.
dive right in because here we go. If there's one thing I like to do, it's jump off the rails from what we're fucking doing. But this guy, so Paul Orndorff, my neighbor, okay, when I was a little kid, she was a flight attendant or in training to be a flight attendant. I don't know what it was. You know, she was a younger flight attendant than my mom. My mom was like senior. She was on the big
she was
planes.
a little kid in training to be a flight
No,
attendant.
fuck. No, she was younger than she was younger than my mom. She was on the smaller planes. She was on like charters and stuff like that, you know, whatever.
Of course.
Somehow or another she met Paul Orndorff, okay? And to me, she told me that was her boyfriend, okay? So I believed that her and Paul Orndorff were, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend going on dates. Didn't
never
really
know.
think about what's really going on with my neighbor and this roided up wrestler. But you know, she'd tell me, she's like, oh, one day she's like, I'm gonna have him come over, you're gonna meet him, and you know, he'll bring Hulk Hogan and Roddy Piper and all these people will come to your house, all this stuff, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm little.
That was got to be everything you wanted to hear too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. 7, 8 years old. I was all about it. I was telling my friends at school, I was like, my neighbor dates Paul Orndorff. They're like, bullshit. I was like, no. Well, they didn't say bullshit because we were, you know, 7, 8 years old. But, you know, they're like, you wish, you know, whatever. I was like,
That's
no,
like when I
swear.
told everybody at school I won McDonald's Monopoly. I went around and told every single person, and then I realized I just had the wrong. I didn't win. I had the wrong thing. I thought I had like Virginia Avenue, but I had 2 of states. So anyway, please continue.
No, it was the truth in my eyes. And like, there was a day that he was supposed to come over to the house. He didn't come over, crushed inside, you know. I went to bed and my mom, did I tell you this before?
No,
My-
but she did that to you. Like he was actually. She gave you a day.
yeah, no, yes.
This is a grown woman who gave you a day that a wrestler was going to come to your little boy house,
Yes.
and she just fucked you over.
Well, yes, he was in town. They were doing something here, you know, in Pittsburgh. And I guess he didn't feel like coming over. And so I went to bed that night and my
Why
mom
would
wakes
he?
me up at like, you know, I don't know what time. I was sleeping, 10, who knows what time it was. She's like, somebody's on the phone for you. And I was like, okay. And I come in and I answer the phone. I'm like, hello. Hey, is this Josh? I'm like, yeah. Hey, Josh, it's Paul. Paul Orndorff. I'm sorry I didn't get to see you today. I just like blah, blah, blah. I'm like on the phone, like shaking, like, oh my God, you know, like whatever. Like totally was like, holy shit, this is Paul
No
Orndorff.
shit.
That next day, I got a letter from like, you know, the Hilton or whatever hotel that they were staying in. It was like, you know, Josh, sorry I couldn't see you, you know, whatever, Paul Orndorff, you know. I took this letter to school the next day being like, look at what I got. And guess what? Everybody was like, that's fake.
Oh, fuck them. That's such fucking bullshit.
I was like, no, it's real. Like, he called me last night. No, he didn't. You had your mom write that or something like that. And, you know.
Man, you think about today when everything is so easy to fake, and you don't think about 1985 and all the kids being like, that's fake.
Probably had something to do with the fact that I had a fake Jim McMahon football that my mom actually autographed.
Okay, so you're a liar.
I had lying tendencies. Yes, that was actually probably the same year because that was like the year of the Bears. That was the big Super Bowl 20. Well, I mean the Super Bowl actually took place in '86, but that was the '85 season, which had the Super Bowl Shuffle, which was a big deal. That was a big.
I didn't understand football when I was a kid. I didn't know what I was even looking at.
That was the one. That was the game. That was the season that I started paying attention to football because it was the Chicago Bears. They were so cool, and they had this song and dance that they were doing, which is I watched it. I watched the Super Bowl Shuffle earlier tonight because I wanted to see like 6 minutes long, bro. It's 6 minutes.
A 6 minute Super Bowl
A
dance?
6 minute video of like, my name is Sweetness and I'm the best. Dude, I am. Whatever. It's just like every player. Like there's fucking 15 verses.
No.
And you get halfway through and you're just like, oh my God, we're still going, you know? And I was like sitting there like, this is the longest goddamn song. And I was like, wait a second. I was like, We Are the World came out the same year, right?
Well, I know that
like,
song.
I was like, what was longer? I was like, is We Are the World longer than, and it is. It's 7 minutes long. So I was like,
minutes?
it's fucking 7 minutes.
So
the
wait.
video is 7 minutes. I was like,
Was We Are the World connected to Hands Across America? Or was this not 1985?
We Are the World was USA for Africa.
Okay.
That was, starving kids in Africa thing. But there was also Live Aid that year.
Yeah.
And there was Farm Aid that year. There was a lot of AIDS. There's a lot. There was a lot of AIDS in 85 for sure.
There was. But Live Aid, is that the one where that Christmas song came out of where everybody did it about? Part of me was like the rain's down in Africa, but that's not what it was. It was, do they know it's Christmas time?
I don't know. Who sings it? What?
A million people sing it.
Oh,
Boy
I don't know.
George
Maybe.
starts it off.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I don't know.
Well,
I don't
I'm
know.
telling
I only
you.
know very few things about Live Aid. I know that Live Aid was in the United States and in England at the same time. And
Sounds
the concert
right
was,
for Boy George.
it was bouncing back and forth, and like so you had your British bands over in England, and then you had your American people. So you had like, who the fuck was over there? Like you had the Queen, you had Police, you had whatever, and then you had.
But that's
like,
what I was about to say.
Springsteen and whatever.
If you watch that video for "Do They Know It's Christmas Time," it actually takes a second. You're like, this is fucking Sting and Bono and all these crazy people when they were really, really young. Like,
I mean, it could be. It totally could be.
I mean, you look at Sting in that video and you're like, you kind of look like a dick who's like such hot shit. You know what I mean? Like, because Sting is like everybody's rock and roll dad now, but like back then he was hot shit.
He was hot shit. Yeah.
I know. But he looked like hot shit. You know what I mean? He was all like, it's like young pictures of Stellan Skarsgård. That guy looks like fucking Kurt Cobain.
Really?
Yes.
No shit.
Yes.
No, dude. I don't know. That's something we should probably worth a Google, but I like going off of not knowing and just claiming it as fact. So we'll say that it came out during Live Aid.
Let's say that.
Or Farm Aid. I don't know shit about Farm Aid other than
They're
they
both
came
the
out
same
like
thing.
right after it. It was almost like, you think you're better than us? We're gonna do Farm Aid.
What was Farm Aid? Was it presumably for
another fucking
farmers?
concert, another big ass concert about some shit? Like again,
Farm
I
shit.
don't know the facts, and I could Google it, but I don't think I need to because nobody really gives a fuck.
We're gonna make farmers mad.
Oh, I'm sorry, farmers. No, it was
Yeah.
the best one.
It was good.
It was the best one out of all of them, I'm sure.
Yeah, Boy George was amazing in that song.
I loved him in it. I loved when he put on his overalls and his straw hat, and he was like, I love farming, and then Lisa started singing. Like
Yeah,
I think everybody
beautiful.
started. I think that's how every single song started. Somebody said something about crops are good this year, and go.
Yep.
But no, We Are the World was the other one. We Are the World was I was was watching something about it the other day, like a YouTube documentary or something that was like going over everything that happened during it. There was a lot of shit because you think about, there was a room full of egos. There was a room full of so many I'm the coolest person in the room. And from what I heard was they all came from the, like, maybe like the AMAs, like it was the American Music Awards, or so, I don't think it was the Grammys, but like,
Okay, so We Are the World. You're telling me this was another a lot of people got together and
Yeah.
made it, because all I heard when I was a little boy was just a bunch of people singing. I didn't know who it was.
you didn't
Okay.
know what it was. No, it was like all of them. It
No, I
was
was 7 years old.
So was I, asshole.
Yeah, well, I didn't know what was going on.
Well,
I
I'm telling
didn't know
you.
anything about music until Paula Abdul in 1992. That was the first tape I ever bought. It's
second
the first
album?
time I ever cared.
The second album, Spellbound,
No, the first one. When did that come
straight
out?
up, that was like 88 or something, right? 89.
1988 was the first time I
Something
cared
like
about
that.
music.
Yeah, straight up. I to tell you, whatever.
She
It's the
was
one with
hot.
the MC
She was
Scat
super
Cat.
hot.
MC Scat Cat. Yeah, she was okay. She was.
She was super hot.
She was. There were others. There were others that were more important. She was
There were
on
no
the
others.
wall. She was on my wall, but she just. There were many other people on the wall besides her.
Oh, I was too embarrassed to put her on the wall. I just had her on the tape. Looked at it by myself.
Well, in that case. But no. So like they all came from an award show. Like everybody went straight from the award show instead of going to after parties, and they went to the studio to record this fucking thing at like 2 a.m. So you have limo after limo after limo pulling up to this place, and it's like, I'm bigger than you, and I'm bigger than you, and then there's
I'm
a
more
couple people
fucked
that-
up than you, more like.
Then there's like, Ray Charles is there and Bob Dylan is there, and everybody else is like, oh my God, they're here, but it's like, Michael Jackson, Billy Joel, Bruce Springsteen, Tina Turner, Cyndi Lauper, Kenny Loggins. I don't know. Anybody who was
Wow.
anybody at the time, except for one fucking dude. One dude was like, I am not going, and was very important back then. And it was Prince.
Oh.
Prince did not want to go because he's not like from what they were saying, because I was just going off of the shit that was in the thing. If he went, he wanted to have his own room to record it. He didn't want to be with everybody else. They were like, you can't do that, dude. We're all in this together. He's like, I'm not going in there with all those people. He had beef with Michael, and there was a lot of who was cooler. And there's some really good videos that show like, when shit was going down between these two. But yeah, he was like, I'm not gonna go. And then he was like, I'll come and I'll do like a guitar solo in another room, like whatever. They were like, no, you're either in or you're out. And he was like, I'm not fucking going. So
He had
he
beef
didn't
with
go.
Michael. Was he like, oh, you died of fentanyl? Well, I'm going to die of fentanyl too. Is that what happened ultimately?
Maybe later on in life, yes.
Yeah.
Not in 1985.
The grudge just continued on.
I do know that he said that Michael wanted him in Bad to play the Wesley Snipes character in the video.
Don't know this
And-
video.
And he was, what's that?
I don't know this video.
You don't know the Bad video?
Is that
What
the one where
fuck
he
am I
broke
doing this with
windows?
you for?
Did he break car windows or something?
No, that's black and white. No, Baddie's in a subway. He's in a fucking subway.
I never saw this video. I didn't watch. I was not allowed
Did
to
you
watch
ever see
music
Weird
videos.
Al's Fat? Did you ever see Weird Al's? Did you ever see the Fat video?
I know
It's-
Fat.
It's the same fucking video, bro. It's just
But my mom wouldn't let me watch MTV because the
Why?
one time I was arguing with her, I was like, of course I can watch it. Let's turn it on for 1 second. And the moment I turned it on, Love in an Elevator was on. And she
no.
was like, you are never watching MTV again.
goddamn Aerosmith.
I mean, Love in an Elevator is a smutty fucking video
It is.
to
It
be
is.
on when I was trying to prove to my mom.
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. I mean, it's kind of like how that's like the odds of like whenever I would listen to Howard Stern in the car, and it could be going on for hours and hours of just being hilarious. And then Stacy gets in the car, and all of a sudden they're talking about dildos and shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, it wasn't like this. The whole show has been really funny. All this guy talks about is this and this. And I'm like, no, I'm serious. It's good. But whatever, like, fuck it. So fine, you just hate it. I'll just listen to it by myself. So that sucks for you. No, I was a big MTV, but that's because my babysitter was younger, and she watched it whenever she came over. She'd flip right on MTV, made us watch, made me say that I love David Lee Roth. She was like, you can't have a snack until you watch, because, like, you have to say David Lee Roth is super hot. And I'm like, David Lee Roth is super hot. Can I have a fucking apple?
Like, that sounds cool, but, like, thinking about it now and a babysitter being like, you can't have a snack until you watch this fucking video on my phone, like, just shoot me. I don't want the snack.
No, I do it to my kids all the time. You can't yet. You have to watch this. Watch this with me and feel the excitement. You're not going anywhere. It's like, no. So yeah, no, that's what she did. So then I got into MTV. So yeah, I was watching MTV from whenever it started, probably like 1981, something like that. But so by 85, I was well into watching it. You missed out.
I did. I was too busy being young and naive and sweet and trusting and having all the ills of the world shielded from me.
Oh man!
Until college, when I went crazy.
Yeah, that's when you lost it. Well,
when I met you,
I did that. I fucked you up.
Yeah, you did.
You were just a good kid. You didn't smoke weed. You did nothing.
I smoked weed in seventh grade. Once.
7th grade?
Yeah, because we smoked it, and we had a band, and
you had a
then
band?
we all. Yeah, I was. Oh, Josh.
Tell me.
I sang "To Be With You" at the 7th grade concert, and
Mr.
all the
Big?
girls
Is that Mr.
loved
Big?
it. Yes. They all loved it, but they didn't necessarily love me because I was like 4 foot tall. But they loved me, but they just didn't love me. But yes, we had a band and we smoked pot, and then we came back inside all high and we played Black by Pearl Jam, and it was amazing. We were all so into it.
It wasn't. No, it wasn't. There's no way. There's no way. Number one, you weren't in 7th grade. Were you in 7th grade when Pearl Jam came out?
I just have that memory. I think it was Black. I think we played Black.
I mean, you might. I guess it was.
No, 92. I would have been in 9th grade. And maybe it was 9th grade. I might have smoked the first time in 9th grade.
What were you? What did you play?
I was the singer, Josh. I was the lead singer.
Oh, you just sang.
Yeah, but I was so bad at it that, like, I had a high voice before my voice changed, and my voice changed late.
Which, I mean, high voice is Eddie Vedder. Great.
Yeah, well,
great.
But like, I just remember being like on stage the first time and like in the front man of a band, and I just kept doing this. I just kept singing and doing this, and I didn't do anything else. I didn't move from that spot.
So you were like weird, like
it was fucking weird as fuck.
Were you like channeling like David Byrne from fucking Talking Heads?
I guess. No, he's cool. He was so much cooler than what I was doing.
No, I thought maybe you were trying to pull it off. You had like you were going for something.
No, I was not going for anything other than being afraid of being on stage singing. That's all I was going for.
I mean, that's what you need in a lead singer, though. You need fear. No, I would agree.
What the fuck were we talking about?
Well, we were in music, but we can move away from it since you were completely fucking sheltered. And
but I'm not a sheltered
adult. Kids Bop in 1985, so we can't really go for a lot of the shit.
Look, this is my mom's fault, man. You got a problem with her, you talk to her about it.
Yeah, I'll have to call her. What's her number?
I'm not going to give that out over the internet.
Okay, so we'll move past the music. Well, let's go into something else. Where do you want to go? We can talk about TV.
Okay, yeah.
What do you want?
Tell me. I like music. I mean, I know it now.
Okay. Tell me something.
You tell me something. You're the one who knows the year.
I know what came out in '85, like based off of just some stupid shit. I just picked a handful of things, but like if you don't know them, you don't know them. You're like, We Are the World had a bunch of people in it. Yeah, motherfucker. What'd you think it was?
I just thought it was a bunch of people singing.
It was a bunch of people singing. That's what it
I
was.
just thought it was like a chorus.
Like not real people, like not famous people.
I don't know what
I thought it was just like kids singing.
Well, I was 7 years old. I just thought it was a bunch of people singing.
Yeah, well, it was. I mean, you weren't wrong.
It's
Just
true.
they were, important people. But that's okay.
Well, it's
You
good
know.
to know now. You learn something every day.
You do. I just learned how many Joshes to take us back to Noah's flood.
That's some fucking shit. 144 Joshes since Noah. But I think that a lot of potentially not 45-year-olds might also not know this too. So maybe we're teaching me and others. Josh.
Yeah, there's plenty. I'm sure there's plenty. You look like a serial killer right now. Are you mad?
Thank you.
Like, that look was just like you were ready. You were like, I'm going to eat you now.
Yeah, but I can't. You're not in the same room.
No, thank God, Jesus. No, move to something else then. What do you like?
You want?
Did you like
want
cartoons back then?
I always liked That is all I liked back then. When
So here's your pocket.
I know this is what.
So this is the pocket. Let's go.
So unpopular opinion here.
Mm-hmm.
This is not 1985. But anytime I was gonna throw Saved by the Bell under the bus. But anytime something that was not a cartoon came on TV, particularly on Saturday morning when they shut the whole shit down,
Yeah.
I was not having it. If I saw real people, I was fucking pissed off. All I wanted was cartoons.
Well, yeah, that was 11 o'clock though. Saved by the Bell came on at 11. Shit was over by then.
I wanted it to go on all day and night.
No, I understand. I felt the same way. Cartoons in the 80s were a big ass deal. Like it was. Do you remember having the before the season, before like the fall season, they would have like a primetime special that showed what all the cartoons were going to be on like CBS that year. And it was like, half an hour show or something. It might have been an hour. I don't know, but it would be like, and this year we're going to have, a show called The Muppet Babies. And they would show you a clip of Muppet Babies and you would be like, oh, damn. Okay, this is going to be good. And then, and they showed you the time slots. Garfield's going to be on or whatever. And I used to get real pumped about it. Like they made it a big thing. Saturday morning cartoons were a big deal.
I know. I do kind of feel bad for people that they don't have that anymore, but I guess they don't want it. They just got cartoons anytime they fucking want it on YouTube. So
yeah, it's not the same. But like at the time it was great. And like one of them that I saw, like there was a couple actually that came out that year that were a big deal. Like that was Thundercats' first year, which is that was crazy. It was Care Bears. The fact that Thundercats and Care Bears came out the same year blows my mind.
I had Care Bears. Did you have Care Bears?
Yeah, we had a bunch of them. We had a bunch of Care Bears.
Good.
I also have a sister and you have a brother, so it's a little different.
Okay, because I was gonna say it's the '80s, and you felt a little girly, like like back then that was you didn't want to feel that way, but like now it's like totally cool. Play with the Care Bears.
It's never been cool to play with your Care Bears, but it was a little bit more. It's definitely not cool now to play with my Care Bears. But at the time, I could piggyback the Care Bears because Bree had Care Bears, so it wasn't like me and my brother were like Care Bears,
I think my brother and I were actually like Care Bears. My brother is a real strong man now.
Very strong.
Yes, we were very excited about Care Bears.
Yeah, I know, and it's like I liked them. We had a bunch of little ones. We had a couple big ones, but like those little plastic ones, I remember having a bunch of. But we did have like definitely had like Tenderheart, Cheer Bear, and like maybe Luck Bear. Like I remember the green one. I liked the green one a lot. But
See,
then,
I
like,
was at least enough of a boy who was ashamed to like Care Bears to only like the cloudy rain
grumpy, grumpy bear.
bear. He was the only boy bear for
I
me.
liked Big Dick Bear.
Yeah, Big Dick Bear. Everybody liked him.
Alcoholic Bear was cool.
Yeah, he was cool.
no, Cheer Bear, Sunshine Bear, whatever. You know, like
Oh, Sunshine. I liked Sunshine.
we had all of them, and that came out that year. Pound Puppies came out that year. That was another one that, like,
Yeah.
we had a shit ton of Pound Puppies. You
It was
know,
fucking impossible to get a pound puppy for Christmas. I feel bad for parents back then. Like,
there was always something. Those were bad. That we're not in the year of the Cabbage Patch, but the Cabbage Patch came out in 84 or 83. We talked about that. I can't remember, but they didn't come out in 85. They were already established by then. But like, that was like, people were getting murdered. People were getting murdered for Cabbage Patch Kids.
my mom, from my grandfather, who had a store who sold like hobby stuff and dolls. My mom has an original Xavier Roberts, handmade and signed. It's like all soft and stuff.
It was the signature's actually Paul Orndorff.
It's not Paul Orndorff.
You fucking liar.
I'm not a liar. I'm not a liar, but it's also not that much of a thing to have. Like, I checked up the price for it online. It's like $300.
It should be more than that.
Robert
If
makes
it was
a lot of them.
if it was actually signed by Xavier Roberts, you might want to check that again.
I don't
feel
think so.
like-
I think they're only worth like $300. I think he went to a lot of places and handed out a lot of dolls that were signed.
Yeah, if you took it to Pawn Stars, they'd probably say best I could do is $50. Be like, I mean, you can get them everywhere. No, you can't. Nobody has that. And if they do, I mean, like, there's got to be somebody. Maybe somebody listening right now.
Do you want to hear tangent story about pawn-related reality TV things?
Sure, I love those.
Okay, just real quick. When I started out editing video, I was doing reality casting, which is horrible, and I left it forever when I left it, but when I was doing it, I went to work for True TV, and I was just doing like casting tapes, and and then somebody came in the door. Some like real Long Island-y scary guy came in the door, and he was like, "Oh shit, do you guys do hardcore porn? Hardcore porn? Oh man!" And my producer was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Oh shit, I love hardcore porn. I'd like blah 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 blah." And I'm sitting there as an editor, being like, "Are they gonna ask me to edit porn?
You had no idea.
And what will I do if they?" It was this fucking Long Island accent. It was hardcore pawn,
Right.
and I had no fucking clue. I went through like multiple days of soul searching as to whether or not I would edit porn, and my answer was no.
My God, no! That I liked that show actually. I thought that one was good. I'm sure it was super fake, but we did like watching that one a lot when it was on.
They're all incredibly fake. I did discover that working there.
Yeah,
I
probably.
won't spill the individual tea. No, you know what? I
Give
was
me one.
watching
Give me a good one.
a video with a woman having her boat repossessed. And I was fixing it up, and I felt so bad, and then I matched frame on it, and I played the original footage because I felt so bad for her. I wanted to see what happened. And she's like, literally on the video, she's like, "Oh, Mama, you're taking my boat. Why would you take my boat? Was that good? Was that good enough?" And I was like, what the fuck is going on?
She got paid extra to cry. The
Yeah, she
producers
wasn't
were
even
like,
a person. It wasn't even her boat.
Are you fucking serious? It was
This
that
was
bad?
casting. This was not. They were just trying to show what the show could be.
Well, I have a friend who did one of those house shows.
We gotta bleep out the network that I said probably before we put this shit up.
Which network did you say? Did you say
I'm not saying it
network?
again.
What was it? What does it rhyme with?
Blue bee beads.
I still don't know which one that is.
It doesn't matter. I don't even know if it's a network anymore. True TV.
Oh. they won't come and get you.
Let's get
I
back
think
to
they
the
don't play
80s.
Impractical Jokers anymore. If they do anything, it's probably just that shit. No, I had friends that did the house hunting one. One of them shows where you got to find the house of your dreams or whatever. They already had a house. Okay. Already had the house. Like, they were under contract. They made them go look at 2 other houses to choose which one they wanted. And they said that they would pay them extra money if they got into like some sort of argument. And so like they got into one of the houses and were arguing about like the floors, and were like, I don't like this floor. I don't like what. They told them to do things and they would pay them extra. You know, they were like, and when you do this one, now you're going to high five after you, they'd make them high five. Like, have you ever high fived your wife once? Ever?
Yeah, we high five a lot.
Do you do it a lot?
No.
Fucking weirdo. Like, I would never be like, yeah. That was necessary. If they were like giving them things to do and they were like, yeah, we had to do this, I was like, God damn. Like, after that, I was like, okay, well, this was a long time. This was like, 2014 or some shit. So like, yeah, that stuff was still kind of like, maybe not even, maybe like 2012. Who the fuck knows? Whatever the case is, that was when I started to realize, oh, everything's bullshit. But that's not where we were. That's not what we came here for.
Let's go back to 1985.
Tell me about it. So we were talking about the cartoons, right? So we were talking about Care Bears, Pound Puppies, Thundercats. There was one that came out that year that I thought was actually a pretty cool one, and it was called the Wuzzles. Do you remember the Wuzzles? So the Wuzzles was a show, and if you remember, do you remember those tests that we used to take? They called them cat tests where I grew up. I don't know if they were different, but we'd have to take those tests that took days in elementary school, and it was like bubble sheets.
Yeah.
Okay, and in those things, like it would be like an entire week. Maybe it wasn't even. Maybe it was only like 3 days. But in kid years,
it felt like
it was like a fucking month of these bubble tests. But you'd get to the vocabulary ones, and every year it was the same vocabulary words. And the words, like a couple of them were like, a yonker is a young man. Wuzzle means to mix. A baloo is a bear. Like, it would give you these words. Do you remember this at all?
No, were they just trying to... Were they giving you words that actually didn't mean those things to test your associative powers or something?
No, they mean it. I guess it means it. Because Wuzzle does mean to mix. And a baloo is a bear in Jungle Book. But, like, so then you...
Yeah, Jungle Book.
So it was like... So there's the terms, and then you would flip the page and you'd go through and they'd ask you definitions and you remembered them. But like those couple words just always stuck in my head. There were more, and I can't remember what they were. But Wuzzles was a show about 2 animals that were mixed together. So like there was like Bumble Lion, and he was a bee with like a lion mane. And there was Rhinoki, which was a rhinoceros monkey. There was... And I didn't Google this. I'm just remembering them. So if I'm a little wrong, I might be. But there was the bear, or she was a hippo. What the hell was she? Bunny. There was a rabbit hippopotamus. I can't remember what her name was. Hoppopotamus, I think. There was moose seal, or something that he was a seal with moose antlers. But there were like a bunch of them, and that show, we loved that show. And I don't even know if there were toys or anything for it, but that was like a really good one that came out. When I saw, there wasn't really anything that came out that year except for those 4 things. I was like, that was strong as shit, though. I like the Wuzzles, but you don't remember that at all?
I kind of remembered what you were talking about when you were talking about, but then I honestly like confused it with Manimal.
That's very different.
It's very different.
Yes, that's different.
But
Manimal was like a real man. He would turn into a bird and shit.
It would just turn into animals.
Like really creepy transformations.
Yeah, but like then sometimes it was just stupid. Like he'd fall in a sewer hole and just an animal would come out.
That show wasn't on long, I don't think. I wonder when that was on.
I caught a lot of shows that did not last like more than a couple episodes.
You were
Dearly
like
Departed.
you were the person. You were the one with the Nielsen box keeping the show alive.
I just wanted more shows, yeah. But
I
no,
mean,
the
Animal's
Wetzel
cool.
thing sounds familiar.
It was. I don't even know how long it was on. But because I don't feel like it was like a long show. But it was just like it was really, like I remember really liking it because every episode there was different. You'd meet new ones. Like there was this with baby Brahma bullfinch, which was like a bull bear or a big bull bird. It's like, and I remember being like, "That's the best name ever, baby Brahma bullfinch. I love
That's a
it."
good name, yeah.
But then there was like regular TV shows. This one kind of blew me away when I was looking at stuff. 1984. Well, first off, you had Small Wonder premiere that year. Okay, do you remember Small Wonder? That was the little robot girl. The dad made a robot. He made a little girl robot that was going to be the daughter in the family. Very weird to explain nowadays. Like this is it's a very weird. So dad really wanted a daughter, so he made a robot girl, little girl to live in his house. Like you're like, all right. Yeah. Meanwhile, back in the 80s, it was like greenlit.
Yeah.
I know we want this.
Yeah.
But she was a robot girl. That was feels like it was like 1981. Like that feels like that was a very old show. Because the same year, Golden Girls premiered.
Wow, watch that show.
Golden Girls premiered in 85. That's crazy. I feel like that was like way for like maybe like 89. I would have guessed 89, 90. Like I would have never thought that it was on at 85. Moonlighting was the same year. Like
I could never comprehend that show when I was young.
Well, we were little. That came on at 9:00. We were going to sleep, but
Yeah.
you know, Moonlighting. I knew that like that show was cool. Like my parents really liked it, so like I knew that like it was probably something I would want to be watching. I might have saw it like in the summertime or something. You know, like because I remember seeing it.
The sound of me having to go to sleep on a Friday night was the Dallas theme song.
Yes.
I wanted so desperately to watch that show, and I was never allowed. And then I watched a little as an adult, and I don't want to watch it anymore. But
It's not. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
But it was. It had a cool theme. It was.
It's got a good theme.
What that was go to bed. Like 9:00 was go to bed. And so like yeah, was that on Fridays?
I think it was.
I thought it was like on like during the week. They were just sending me to bed at Friday at 9:00. Those
I
dicks.
think because I think the weekends were a big TV time.
They were people with
also little boys.
Friday and Saturday night was a big it was a big time for TV.
Little boys don't have big plans on Friday and Saturday nights.
Neither did parents apparently.
Their plans were get rid of the kids. We could watch Dallas.
Followed by Falcon Crest or Knots Landing or one of those shits. Those were like the 10:00 slot. It was like, oh man.
Oh man. I
If you managed to wake up and see part of that show, you were like, oh Jesus. I remember one of those shows, somebody was swimming in a pool and their ring, they had on like this big engagement ring or something, and they were down at the bottom of the pool and their ring got stuck in the filter and they got trapped underwater. Yeah, I can't remember if they died or not. I just remember seeing that and forever scarring me. Never wanting to scrape my hands across the bottom of the pool. I didn't even wear a ring. I didn't even have a ring. I just didn't want to get caught.
That's why the kids went to bed.
That's why we went to bed, so we didn't get scared. Because that was a crazy one. But Growing Pains started that year. Mr. Belvedere started that year.
Oh, that was a good show.
Like yeah, like there were some good ones, but it's funny that like when I think of the like Growing Pains, maybe, you know, I feel like that was more Family Ties time, but I guess those early seasons of Growing Pains I didn't really care about too much because it was like that you're trying to bring up something in the heat of Family Ties. Like Michael J. Fox was everything.
Oh my God.
You know?
I remember as a kid being like, I want to be a Republican. Like, I didn't even know what that meant. Like,
Yeah. I wanted my initials on all my sweaters. Like I wanted that too. Like he was everything. And this was not only was this Back to the Future year, but it was also Teen Wolf year. So both of those movies came out this year.
I just watched that one.
I've learned that there are people that like treat it as like, you know, like you're either a Beatles fan or a Rolling Stones fan or whatever. You're a Teen Wolf fan or you're a Back to the Future fan, which I think is interesting because somebody that worked with him on Spin City, and I can't remember who it was. They were like on Conan one night and they were talking about going to lunch with Michael J. Fox, how funny it was to see the demographics of people. And he was like, white people would come up to him and be like, Back to the Future is great, you know, like whatever. And then black people would come up to him and be like, yeah, Teen Wolf.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was like you had different worlds of people that were just like, this is their Michael J. Fox and this is their Michael J. Fox. I personally, like, as much as I love Back to the Future, Teen Wolf is like in my top 10 like favorite movies ever made.
I'm too white. Back to the Future. But
no, it's such a good movie though. Teen Wolf is so good.
Teen Wolf is so good, but it's also fucking crazy. When you look at the shit that goes on at that party, first of all, everyone is 45 minimum age 45 at that teenage party. And then the sexual weird uninvited things going on at that party. He pours a bowl of Jello down that girl's shirt, and the fat guy goes eats it out of her.
You're standing in the corner banging your cane against the wall like this is out of control.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying 2023 is like it's just amazing to see.
Never in a million years.
Hey, girl at this party, here's some Jello down your shirt. No, fat guy's gonna eat it.
I don't really think that it really could have happened in 1985, to be honest.
No, of course it
I
couldn't.
feel like it would have been stopped there too. But I mean,
there were people in like covered in Cool Whip, tied together
in a
writhing
like,
around on the ground.
Something. Yeah, or were they just on the ground? I can't remember.
I watched it last month.
Did you?
Yes.
And overall,
like I'm saying, it's shocking to today's sensibilities. It's a lot of fun though. You can see like, and that's like what I appreciate about that versus Back to the Future is that Teen Wolf is a little bit of a dirtier movie, and like the friend is a little edgier. And just the whole thing is a little
Styles,
more.
Wait. So you're saying that Styles is a little bit edgier than, say, Doc?
Yes.
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 Doc's "What are you looking at, Dick Nose" shirt must have been in the wash. Because I didn't see him wearing anything like that in Back to the Future. But yeah, no, it's different.
But and it was cool. Like it, you know, looking at it now, knowing that none of that shit would ever be made now, like it really did make kids want to be bad. Like when I was a kid, as soon as that movie was over, I was at daycare at Bonnie. She was like my other mother, and her son Mickey were best friends. As soon as that movie was over, I went out onto the deck, which was probably 7 or 8 feet above the yard. I stood up on the railing and I was like, "Look, Surfing USA." And Bonnie was like, "You get down off that deck right this second."
Not allowed to watch movies ever again. No. Listen, that movie to me was I've watched it so many times. Same with Back to the Future. I'm not knocking Back to the Future. I love them both. But that movie specifically, it's just easy. It's just easy to watch. And one day I was sitting there watching it, and I realized that the story, like, he's a wolf, right? He is a wolf. The wolf is inside of him. And nobody wants to appreciate that he just wants to be who he really is. And they're like, we don't like that. You need to go back to being normal. And he's like, I don't know. This is in me, and they're like, no, nope. And they make him suppress the wolf. He wins at the end of the game by finally suppressing the wolf. He's like, I'm not going to let him out. I'm going to keep him inside.
But as soon as he turned into the wolf, he turned into a complete dickhead. He was like, hey,
that's
thanks.
him.
Yeah, here's an autograph. Like, he was just like...
That's because people treated him like shit his entire life, So now he's got a little bit of swag. He's like, yeah, check me out.
He had a lot of swag. He had way too much swag.
Did you know that wolves played basketball so well? I did not.
No, it's a fact.
That's something that you learned the day that he wolfed out. He wolfed out because he couldn't take it anymore. He couldn't take it and shit it on.
But he wouldn't play basketball with his teammates. He wouldn't give him a chance.
Well, that's because they sucked.
Not all of them did. Not that other guy who kept getting mad at him.
No, it was Lemonade on the other team.
I don't know. It was the other white guy who looked like Michael J. Fox.
Mark. I think his name's Mark. No, I think Lemonade Styles calls the black dude Lemonade. He's like, Lemonade, what it is. I think Lemonade was on the other team. I don't think he was on their team, but I always thought that was funny that he called that dude Lemonade.
I thought it was, Styles, just an inscrutable character there. Can run in any situation and is like cool, although not cool at the same time. I can't figure him out.
Right.
Like he had to bring a keg to get into the party, and yet he's running the room. He's the MC of the room, so make up your mind, Styles.
He was running. It was his party, apparently. He's probably that guy that just comes in and says, "I'm taking over." You got to respect that a little bit about him.
Yeah, you.
It's funny that you said it as soon as you did, because I was like, I would probably do it. And equally in an annoying fashion. It's not like I came off being smooth. I was just as annoying as Styles.
No, you weren't.
I respect Styles. He's a good dude.
I respect him too, and his t-shirts.
His beer trick, he just couldn't get the beer, though. He gave up too quick. Like, I feel like he went straight for Scott. If he didn't get it playing I'm enough for this.
Do you want to see a relic from the 1980s that my mom got, that you will never see in today's times?
Yes, I want to see it.
So back in the 1980s, there was a thing called Garbage Pail Kids.
Yes, 1985. I was getting to those. Tell me about it.
Well, you want to go there first?
No, do it. Talk to me.
With the success of Garbage Pail Kids came knockoffs made by the same company who made Garbage Pail Kids, but there was a certain knockoff called Gross Bears, which were pins that you instead of stickers, they were like fucking pins that you wore, and they were just gross bears. So, and they would come one per package. One time I brought one home, opened it up, my mom took one look at it, and she was like, "You are never allowed to have this again." And she took it and put it in the drawer, in my dad's drawer, where he kept all his coins and shit like that. And my brother and I would sneak in there, and we would like open up the drawer and like look at this thing and just be like, "How this became the thing that we always wanted to see." You ready for this fucking shit?
Yeah, I'm ready. I want to see.
You're right. Right. Yeah. This is what they decided to sell in the 1980s to children. Fucking literally. Oh shit, trigger warning. Like,
I don't know why your mom was so upset about that.
She was so upset about it. All we ever wanted to do was look at it. He just found it last time we went home. He found it and he sent me a picture of it.
So they never got rid of it. I would have figured it would have went right in the trash.
No, we still have it. No, because they just kept it because they knew we loved it, but they wouldn't let us have it.
Because they thought it was funny. They just didn't want you to know about it. They were like, do you believe this shit?
I don't know. I mean, I thought it was hilarious, but that was the 80s.
Well, I want to see more of those. I bet you we can Google and find a bunch of them.
You can find a bunch of them. You won't. I don't think you're going to find any ones that are quite this bad. But yes, you can find a bunch of others.
That's so good, though. Who
It's
gave
so
that
good.
to you? Where'd it come from?
We got it. Oh, I just Googled that. But
No,
that's
no.
like
Where'd it come from? Did you buy it yourself?
the Topps Company. Yeah, that's where it came from.
Did you go to the Topps Company to buy it?
No, the store? Where
No fucking where? Like, did you buy it personally? Did you buy
Yeah.
it?
Well, yeah, because when you bought Gross Bears, you didn't know what you were buying. It was in a bag. It was in like a thing.
Okay.
And you opened it and you saw what you got. Just like Garbage Pail Kids. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
so it was just like a surprise package thing. Okay.
Surprise!
Oh
Let's
my
hang
God.
out.
Okay. I was like, wait, you just bought that button and you're like, Mom,
No.
let you buy it? I was like,
No.
what's... And then you got home and all of a sudden her eyes focused and she was like, what?
No. No.
Did she let you have Garbage Pail Kids? Did you?
Yes.
Did you get those? Okay. And did she
Although-
look at those ever?
She was fine with them.
Why? They're bad too.
I don't think I've ever seen anything as bad as that. I just don't think. I don't think I have. That's the worst thing from the 80s I've seen.
It's bad. No, it's definitely bad. But I mean, like, there were ones where there were people that were hung. There were people that were, like barfing their guts out. There was all kind of like.
But this one is like,
It's good.
it's like telling kids, let's hang out.
Yes. Yes. I mean, it's clearly, it's a good one. I definitely can't believe that was something that you had.
Yeah, but
You don't have it.
Yes.
So your brother did find it though. Like you do.
Yeah.
It does exist still in your house.
Yeah,
How much? I bet you that's worth more than the Xavier Roberts original.
it's worth $35.
Oh, you checked already.
None of them are worth anything.
Why
the
not?
Garbage Pail Kids Series 1 is the only thing that's worth anything. And I missed them. I've never had in my possession one Series 1 Garbage Pail Kid. And
Really?
It still bothers me. Yeah.
I had some. I don't think I got real big into them though until like the later series. I think two is whenever I started like really collecting them. But I had a few, maybe just because I traded. Maybe I missed the boat on the first series. But wait, is that the one that had Atom Bomb in it? Is that the one
Yeah.
with the one he was in one? Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
have a bunch of those. I had a bunch of those. That was like every time we went, because my mom smoked, so like she'd go into the Crest Mini Mart all the time, and every time she went, it was like, can I get a couple Garbage Pail Kids? Yeah, okay, we'll get a couple Garbage Pail Kids. So like,
Yes,
we always got
always.
a couple packs. I had a box loaded with them, and I don't know where they went. I don't know if they just got pitched. I don't know what happened to them, but they aren't there. Just like everything else in my life. If it was
All
stayed
of
at my
mine-
mom's house, it got thrown away. My stuff.
All of mine are in vinyl sheets. And
still
they're
have
probably, but they're probably corroded because they're in those vinyl baseball card sheets in a binder. I feel like I have all of the second, third, and fourth series.
Yeah, no, I think that as they got further on, well, no, I don't. I think that there was like a time where I was like real hot in them, and then they kept going, and I didn't give a shit anymore. Like, for all I know, there was probably like series 15.
Oh, they're still going.
Are they really?
Yeah, they resurrected them a couple years ago. The artwork isn't quite what it used to be.
No, those old ones were so good.
Yeah, they were.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know, dude. Let me see. We've been on for a minute. We've been on for over an hour.
Yeah, we actually should probably wrap this up pretty soon.
Do we have anything else? I mean, listen, we can always go back to 1985 for sure. Like,
Yeah, I mean, there's only
plenty of
so
shit.
many years between then and now anyway, so we're going to have to retread our steps.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's still so much I didn't get to, but I think we did well. You think this worked out well? I think.
Yeah. What do you think, audience? Do you think we did good? Do you have something to add?
Just tell them you
to
done
end on?
good. Who, me?
You want to bring out something else
I thought you were talking to the audience.
No. No, there's no one here. I mean, this is not live.
Like on Romper Room, whenever they would pull the mirror out and say people's names and shit. Do you have anything that you would like to say?
No, I just showed you my suicide bear thing. That's all I wanted to say.
Perfect. Nah, dude, I got fucking tons. We'll talk about it later. Don't worry. We'll get on to it in another year, I'm sure, because I think we talked about the 90s for a hot minute here. We talked about, I don't even remember what we talked about.
Yeah, we're not going to stay on the years. We're just going to use a year to start it.
Get started and then just fucking go.
Yeah.
Popcorn.
Robot.
All right, then let's end this shit. Thanks, everybody. Go fuck yourselves.
Yep, thank you. Go fuck yourselves, please. Thank you.